everybody, and welcome to another episode of. Okay.
The name of the podcast.
The name
insert
of the
name of insert name of podcast.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Indie Club Podcast. My name is Kozacinski, and today I'm joined by Sebastian Monadjemzadeh. He is founder of cFinder, a community of freelance consultants in IT and business. I will let him introduce a little bit more and tell us a little bit more about himself. I just want to tell that he's from Sweden. We met a couple of weeks ago, and we're going to be doing something great together in a couple of weeks or months, depending on when the Swedish summer finishes. Sebastian, please.
Hi, very nice to be here, or be in Sweden is also nice, but I mean, like, on your podcast, really good pronunciation of my name. Appreciate that, even if it was like take 500. But
I'm gonna cut that out.
we spent as long at the podcast as the introduction with my name being so long. I'm sorry about that, but people do remember it. The reason I have this long, strange name is because my dad is Iranian or Persian, and it's a Persian name that has been Latinified, and certain sounds are not prevalent in the Swedish language, so that's why it looks so strange. Also, my parents did not think that, well, Monadjemzadeh is a pretty long family name. Let's put a short name in his surname or whatever it's called, like his first name. But no, they didn't. They put Sebastian. So that's why it takes up a whole row. Like,
yeah, this is the same reason why I shortened my own name, because when people hear Tomislav, it's like, oh, it's Tom.
Oh, it's Tomislav.
Yes.
Is that the real name? Oh, okay.
My full name is Tomislav, but this is a funny story about my name. Colleagues from my wife's colleagues where she works, when she every time when she said, "Oh, Tomislav is doing this, Tomislav is doing that," they actually thought that she's saying that she's calling me Tom is Love. So they thought my name is like, why is she calling him Tom is Love? And it was like it's like a year later when the coin dropped, and they were like, "Oh, his full name is Tom." It's like, yes. But yeah, so Tom, yeah. Tom for short, because it's just easier for everybody. It's Tom, and let's get into it.
Yeah. So when she's mad at you, she's Thomas hate.
Yeah, that will probably happen when we get divorced. It will be like, Thomas hate.
Thomas hate.
Yeah. She's either gonna rename you to Thomas hate or just an asshole in her phone book.
Both goes.
Both goes. Yeah. It's the same word. Tell me a little bit more about cFinder. I think it's great, but I want everybody to hear it from you. I will link to the site later, and everybody can do their own research. But I want to hear from you how it came to be and what it is.
All right, I'm going to try to keep it short.
We have time.
We have time. Okay, yeah. I'll try to keep it long. So cFinder, actually, it was born. We're four former colleagues from the same company, actually, that figured out we were all working in a company with consultants that were freelancing, and we figured out a way that we wanted to work with our subcontractors, and we actually made a plan together, and we took it to this company that we were working for. But they thought that this is like, to be honest, I think they thought there was like, it was too much money they would lose, because it wasn't the traditional, taking percentage from a freelance. Like usually it takes like 12%. This particular company takes 17%. So they took a lot. The thing they did good though, was that they had like sort of a community. It was physical, very analog, but still pretty good. People got together, met other colleagues within like IT Stockholm. But we thought that we could do this better, more digital. So we built a digital platform where people can meet and do stuff together, like fun stuff. We try to do it data-driven as well. Data-driven as in, if consultants come with a suggestion, we try to do that. So for instance, if there's a course that someone wants to do, and we try to use the power of many. So if this one person wants to do this course, probably there's more people that want to do this course, and then we ask, and if people want to do it, we can always use that as a leverage towards the companies that could maybe provide us with this service, so they could get it cheaper. So that's one of the strengths. But also we're looking out for them in that way, that we're trying to also find uh, contracting jobs for them, because that's their bread and butter. They need clients and stuff, and we try to be the meeting place for both clients and freelance consultants, but also salespeople that freelance or have their own company, which also provide a value that they help the clients find the consultant that they need, or just their pains. Sometimes the clients doesn't know their pain, and we do not take a part of that business. So we're just the platform for people to meet each other. They can chat. They can use our AI motor to sort of match their CVs and profiles against current what do you call assignments.
So
So
basically,
this,
client comes to you with a project, and then you will help
yeah.
kind of assign contractors to that project.
Yeah, and it's done also automatically with the software that we have. So they can just upload the information that they have of the software. Let's say they're looking for Java developer that needs to know this and that and XYZ, and they can just upload it. It takes a second, and then the contractors can upload their CV. Also takes a second, and the software understands semantically what they've done and sort of what industries and what roles they've had and for how long, and then it gives you a matching number to assignments that are currently available. So you can get a match for like 80%. That's pretty good. You're probably going to be a quite good suit for that or match. So that's what we do. And sometimes when it happens automatically and the client and the consultant meet each other directly, we don't involve ourselves in their business, but usually there's a need for a salesperson or some sort of help between the client and the consultant for them to help each other agree, like
Do
a
you mind?
broker almost.
Do you mind me asking? And feel free to not answer the question. I'm just
Sure.
I like to know. So when, let's say I'm a client and I come on board to your platform to find a consultant,
Yeah.
are you negotiating in the name of the consultant, or they negotiate on themselves? And who sets the pricing? Is it me as a consultant set the pricing, or you as a platform, and then you take a percentage? How does that whole thing work?
So that's actually where the salesperson usually comes into place, because you need a third party, or you don't need it, but it's nicer to have a third party instead of me as a consultant saying, you know what, I'm worth 1,000 crowns an hour, and you as a client say no, and then I'm like, okay, apparently not then, because the market says what I'm worth. But so it's much easier to not have to, try to argue for myself, but have a salesperson that maybe has worked with me, maybe has reference cases and have been working with me for a while and knows me and can therefore argue for me and give me a better price. So that's actually one of the services that the sales people that we have provide.
Yeah. So basically, they are your recruiter in a way, where basically,
Sort of, yeah. You could
yeah,
say that, yeah.
yeah.
The model is new, so we're trying different things, and we'll see where we land. But this is the setup right now, and there are a lot of people giving us very positive feedback, so that's very fun and nice. Uh,
Yeah, I think that's great. I in my previous like year, and like no, even like 2.5 years actually now, I worked extensively with recruiters here in London, where basically a lot of them are just playing the numbers and trying to find, match a person to a company as quick as possible, so they will
yeah,
actually earn more. But I had I think an opportunity to work with a couple of really great guys and girls who were extremely well at what they do. But what they did is they really got to know me. So they would go deep into my portfolio. How do I work? What type of clients do I want to work with? What type of projects? All that stuff. They learned all of my wants and needs, and they also learned how I work and what are my strengths. And then when they would find a client that they would know I'm a good fit, they could argue my case, and they could really convince client why am I a good choice between all of these other
Yeah.
designers and consultants and everybody. So when you find a recruiter or somebody who works on your side to basically find you a really good client, I think there's nothing more valuable to that. So I don't know how much you're charging, and if you want to share that with everybody, that's fine. If you don't, not sure, but feel free not to. But I think that it's really valuable, and I'm always more than happy to take a piece of whatever I'm earning and give that to a recruiter if I know that I'm getting a really good client that I will then have opportunity to work on a project for a long time and come out at the end as a better designer or consultant or whatever.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. And that is the way I always work. I've been like full transparency. I think that's really, really important. I tell my agenda, like, this is what I want, and this is what I want for it, and this is what I will do. And I worked as a recruiter on my previous company. I was head of recruitment there for the Stockholm area, and I had a hit rate and also a track record that was unseen and unheard of during one of the years at least. And I think the reason that I had that was because I never bullshitted anything. If someone said like, yeah, I would like if this and this would happen and these sorts of services, if we didn't have them, I wouldn't say that we did. I would say, we don't have those. I've heard that our competitor might have them. Go check with them. If this is really important for you, go check with them because I think they have it. So that's better. And I was always like clear with, my only job is not, my job is not for you to sign this paper. My job is to make sure that you have all the information you need in order for, if you sign this paper, you will not be disappointed. You'll know what you are signing off
Yeah,
on. So
absolutely.
this is something I work with, and I it's not smart and it's not scientific, but I go a lot with gut feeling and the relationship thing. And this is one of the reasons why I agreed on this podcast, because I really like sort of, I thought we hit it off. I don't know what you maybe just need guests. I have no idea, but I thought we had a really nice meeting before this. We don't know each other really well, but it was fun talking to you. And I thought like, hell, what the hell? Like screw the content consumers. We'll have an hour having fun talking. So
Well, thank you for that, because to be honest, a lot of guests either come from people that I know or from the community co-founder of mine, David, who finds these amazing people and brings them on the podcast. So I'm in the last couple of episodes of not the one to source people that I talk to, because I wanted to step away from being the one who's talking with people that I already know, because then a conversation is very much different than when I'm speaking to someone that is fairly new to me. And when I met you, like you said, yes, we clicked. I think you're an interesting guy, and I think you have a lot of interesting ideas to share. So this is why I'm really glad that you agreed to this, and it's gonna. I think it's great, and thank you. And I think cFinder as an idea is really good, and on top of what you said, like not being a bullshitter, I think this is a huge difference, because a lot of people that I had met, not everybody, but there's a substantial amount of people who just want to do the sale and go with it. Just it just kind of feels that if you actually care about your customer, whatever it is it a product or in your case a consultant, or I don't care, if when you are removing that bullshit factor and are you honestly trying to help them by not necessarily helping yourself first, I think you're going to go a long way. And this is what happened to me a couple of times, where you do like the saying says, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. But I would rather sleep comfortably in my bed, not worrying about am I an asshole, than doing something that will I just always I had a friend who's now he died a couple of years ago, but he was this amazing.
Sorry.
It's fine. He was an amazing guy. He was my parents' generation, and he taught me one really great thing. He said that he always tries to live his life so that he's not afraid of 2 a.m. knock on the door. And this is one,
Yeah,
right?
good. Yeah.
And this is what I really took in, because I think that's like, okay, when somebody knocks at my door at 2 a.m., I have no fear opening up the door, because I know they came for help and nothing else. And this is how I want to, approach anybody. I'm here to help you. If I can help, great. If I can help you and earn something in the process, amazing. But I will never go for money alone. And this is one of the reasons why I didn't onboard clients in the last couple of months, just because of the lockdown and all of the stuff happening. It kind of felt that I was not in a good place mentally, and I didn't want to bring somebody into that and then have them wrestle with whatever I'm wrestling at the moment. So yeah, totally understand. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah, yeah.
I took on a tangent. Yeah.
No, it's fine. It's nice listening to. I think I would be afraid anyway. Like, even though I haven't done anything wrong, you never know. You bumped into someone on the subway and he's coming for you like 2 a.m. anyway. I don't know. But also, I think maybe also I'm not sure about this. You might be at help, like help me think about this. But the market in Stockholm. Like in Sweden, but particularly also when you narrow it down to Stockholm, is so much smaller than in UK that I think I can't afford to just lie to someone, because the word would get around quite quickly. If I do it like one time, maybe that would be fine. But do it 3 or 4, get known as a bullshitter, I think I'm smoked at this market. Then I have to move to UK. So so that's also like I mean, it's not the reason that I don't bullshit, but I mean that I think that it would be like sort of self regulatory as well, because like, and also me, like in the other end, like I don't want to come off as this like hero or anything, because I'm not. Because when people bullshit me, I am really quick to tell other people about it, like intentionally, talking loud about it on the subway. Yeah, I was talking to this guy, he's a prick. Um, and like constantly just, repeating the name of the company. Have you heard about this? This company, Company X? Yeah, Company X ripped me off. Like, Company X fucked me over. Like, I would never work with Company X, like doing this stuff, because I get so pissed off when people try to screw me over, because I think there's no need. I'm really transparent. If what I want, you be the same, and we'll see if we can do business. Like, if my price is too high, then it's too high. Then I'll have to go back and see what I can do.
No, absolutely. I think there's always somebody who's willing to do something cheaper. And whenever somebody approaches me and says, hey, great, thank you for your offer, but we have person or company X, Y, and Z that's going to do it cheaper, I'm always happy that they found somebody who's cheaper than me. And if they can do it on the same uh, quality level for the lower price, good for them. I want to know who that company is, because then I want to work with them, so that I can offload everything that I'm working to them and just keep the difference. So I think everybody wins, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's a, I don't know if I can share my screen with you. Let me just I
Just
found
turn
it.
off the incognito
No, no.
passwords.
There was one image that I saw. Actually, I'm going to share just this. I want, when we are about talking about charging less. It's, do you see the screen?
Yes. Yeah.
And
Yes.
I'm totally happy with this. I was
Yeah.
I'm when I started out with when I was younger, and not younger, when I was young, period, when I was way young, and when I started with my first website, it's an embarrassing story, but I remember it being that my friend's kid who can do it really cheap, and I was this kid who was a kid of this guy who was a friend of the guy that did the website, and I did a really poor, terrible website, and I did it for almost nothing money. And I'm sure that there were at that point some professionals who saw the site that I built and thought, oh my God, this guy paid like little money for this crap site. But I thought I was amazing because I built this site and I earned, I don't know, it was in, if I calculate to euros today, it would be, I don't know, like around 100 euros for a website, or even less. But I was so happy because it validated that whatever I'm doing has a market. So this is where I started. Of course, got better over the years, but there's always somebody who's willing to do it cheaper, and that's great. And if you're happy with the quality that cheaper people are bringing to the table, then more power to you. Please do that. And then when you're not satisfied, come back to me. I'm still here, not going anywhere, and I will be happy to help.
Yeah, and also, there's also one other aspect of it is that the ones that did it cheaper, if the client is satisfied, then that particular, client, sorry, what do you call it? Like that company that provided it to the client that was satisfied, they understood better what they needed. So they didn't need a Da Vinci painting. They just needed some crappy thing with colors.
Yeah, yeah,
That might be
you're
the case,
absolutely right. Yeah,
So
yeah.
they're like two sides of it. And
Not sure if I actually mentioned this already at the podcast. Doesn't matter. I want to tell you the story, and whoever's listening is gonna listen it for the second time. But when I started my first company with my colleague and co-founder of my first company, who is one of my closest friends, our first client was this beauty salon thing, like hair and nails and all that, shiny stuff. So we were so happy to have found a client that we wanted to do everything. We were the everything agency, whatever you need. Business cards, we do them. Websites, yes, no problem. Whatever you want, we're going to make it for you. And we were so happy to have this client, and she wanted basically the full package. The full package was complete branding, including the logo, business cards, memorandums, all that stuff, website. And then she had a salon, and we did design for her windows. So we did design that, and then we printed them out, and we came over there and actually put the window graphics onto the windows. And she ordered 300 coffee mugs with print of her new logo that we designed and everything. So, and it was around something before Christmas time when she wanted to give away those 300 mugs. So the total amount that we charged in euros was for 300 mugs, printed windows, branding guidelines, website, business cards, printed business cards. Everything was done for 1,000 euros.
wow.
And our expenses were 850 euros before tax. We paid the tax, and we were each left with around 20 euros of pure profit. So this was one of my most expensive lessons that I learned in my being a business owner and doing the price negotiations. So she got off extremely cheap, and she got high quality product, a lot of products, and she was happy. We were happy. We had a great piece in our portfolio, but we were basically netting zero net. So
Yeah.
so next client was like triple the price for the same amount of work.
60 euros each.
no, the cost remained the same. So we tripled the thing, but the cost remained the same. So
okay.
So
All
it
right.
was 1,060 euros each.
Oh, okay. Congratulations. First, when you were starting the story, I thought that you would like taking on too much, like restaurants that have like pizza, kebab, and also like Thai food. Like you always get suspicious. I don't know if the same in London, but like here I get really suspicious. Like, what's your origin? Like, are you Turkish Thai, or or sushi on top of that? You get. So that's why I thought you were going with that
Oh
story.
no,
But
no, no. We did it on board too much for sure.
oh,
It was too much, but it was a lesson learned, and you scale down, and now it's like I do this and nothing else, and I don't even do brandings anymore. I do branding for my own enjoyment. When somebody asks me to build a logo or something like that, I'm more than happy to. Before COVID hit, there was a conference that was supposed to happen, and organizer of a conference, he's a friend of mine, asked me if I can do the logo. I said no problem. And it's something that I will do on a Sunday morning over a coffee. Some people do the crossword or Sudoku. I do the logo, and I didn't charge him for it. He's my friend, and I did it for the love of doing graphics, because I don't have the opportunity anymore to actually just build the visuals. Since ever I moved to UX and more of consulting, I don't do the graphics anymore. So it's like something for myself that then I can showcase to people, say, okay, I built this and I'm happy with this, but I don't do that anymore, because I think there are much more people in this space who are way more talented than I am and can do it quicker and probably cheaper. If I'm to charge for this, they would do it cheaper and quicker than I do. So like I'm out of that space purely for my enjoyment.
by the way, like on the topic of branding, why aren't you branding yourself as Tom is Love?
Actually,
That's actually pretty good.
I don't want somebody to think of me as a sex guru or something.
Why not?
Because
Because you're married?
no, no,
You
no,
don't
because
want
no, it's just because I'm not a sex guru.
fake advertisement. That's what you're afraid of.
Yeah, I actually just put on my LinkedIn a couple of days ago. A friend of mine gave me a nickname. We were talking. He said, "Oh, a good nickname for you because I'm a really strong advocate of freelancing, like and remote work." So he called me Sir Freelance-A-Lot, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Okay, yes." That goes on my LinkedIn. It's actually updated my LinkedIn a couple of days ago with Tom Sir Freelance-A-Lot. It kind
Nice.
of fits better, yeah.
Yeah. All right. All right.
Uh,
But
Sorry,
yeah, sorry.
I've been speaking for a time, and I actually wanted to ask you. I just wanted. I don't feel that we finished the whole cFinder topic, and
All
we
right.
kind of moved into the consulting. But I want to know a little bit more about, from your perspective as a recruiter, what was the biggest problem that people have when they either have their own CV or portfolio? What makes them hard to sell to a potential client? So,
Uh, Sorry. Could you repeat the question?
so what makes them hard to sell as a person, as a professional with their portfolio? Like, what are the mistakes that people do which makes them lose clients or not get enough clients?
So that depends, of course, like boring answer, but I can answer like a sort of related question, and that's usually like consultants getting assignments or offers that they really don't want to work with. Let's say that you actually just wanted to work with like the graphics and stuff, but you only get sort of DevOps or something like further back end questions, like nothing with the visual assignments, and get frustrated like why do I only get these like questions, and that's usually like how you what would you say, how do you present your CV. If it's only like backend stuff in there with no highlighting of the graphics, for instance, I'm not sure if this is a good example, I'm just saying, of course you're just going to like, that's what recruiters see, or the clients see. They're like, okay, backend, 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 he probably likes backend, so this is what I'm going to offer him. So that's one thing, like how you present your CV in terms of both like what you have, like history, and the vector, sort of where are you going, what
Direction that
way.
you're taking.
Yeah, the direction, exactly. What are you, what do you want? Like if I see that someone is going more towards maybe UX, coming from a technical background, I can understand that, okay, you know what, this guy wants to work, or girl for that matter, wants to go towards more UX stuff. And then I will like, then you need to know your strength. I'm always talking about, like in soccer, football, you always have like your sort of area that you own, and you just need to find your own edge. uh, and this is rhetorics, right? So it comes to like CV, most people don't understand that the CV is not a paper of what you have done. It's not a history book. The CV is your sales equipment, this is the equipment you use to get an assignment, right? So this is like usually, especially like within areas like IT, there's a lot of engineers, and usually they are more like fact-based oriented. So that's why they need the salespersons and stuff, because they don't have maybe that skill that much usually, like if I would generalize. And that's what people need to understand, that your CV is not just a history of what you have done. It is a way for you to sell yourself. And then on the other side, like someone read this in a book, like especially like maybe I've seen a lot of UK CVs and profiles as well. Like they overdo it. It's like they put, like everything in there, and they like put quotes and shit that why would I believe you just because it's on the paper? And also I hate it when people put like, okay, my skill sets, and then they just sort of, score themselves 1 to 5. Like in Java, I'm a 4 of 5 or 9 of 10. Like compared to what? And who the fuck says? Like, is it you that, okay, good, I'll take you in right away. This guy is a 9, apparently. Like, what that just takes up space I don't care what you think about yourself. I want to see what you have done and why I should hire you. And that's usually like what people miss. To answer the first question, it's like, I want to know maybe, okay, what was your role and what happened during your assignment and what part did you play in this project going well? Because that last part will be like, oh, okay, I have that same pain. I have that same problem. You know what? My website keeps doing some funny stuff. Oh, you were a tester there and you found it using these methods, for instance. That's what I need, just to make it simple. I don't know who your crowd is, but
No,
maybe.
no. My crowd is people who are trying to either start a business or be freelancers or find a
Okay.
job or work for themselves. But
Yeah.
I think it's general good advice that you're saying basically that you need to craft your CV in a way that it presents like your skill set and what you can do. It's not just a list of shit that you already done. And I
Exactly.
agree with those numbers. When I see those CVs, there's like one recently, a couple of months ago, actually last year, I was hiring developers, and I posted like a job ad in one of the developer groups, and I got a couple of hundreds of CVs, uh, and a lot of those had like those little, like you said, 9 out of 10 in Java or whatever.
Yeah.
But
You just
they
ran
had
to your boss like, he's a 9. See, let's
it,
hire him.
it was like one guy had like a chart, like a graph, like, oh, I'm like a pie charts of what is the 10% that is missing in your PHP skill, like which 10% don't you like? I like 90% of PHP in a pie chart, like what, like and then like for example, this was something that I would immediately disqualify, like, oh, you downloaded a nice CV template by, it's just
Yeah.
like you would take somebody when I started, my CV was, and I'm not over exaggerating, it was 26 pages. My CV
Wow.
was
It was a
26.
history book.
It was a history book, like when the earth was molten lava, and it went from there. And a friend of mine, she's a consultant here in London, and she looked at my CV and she's like, dude, that is way too long. Because in there, I didn't have only my CV, I had like some of my case studies, a part of my portfolio, whatever. Like, so if you took that, you can see everything about me. You can see everything that I did and a couple of my works and a case study and blah, blah, blah. And she said, like, you need to cut this down to 1 page.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with her, by the way. But was it on the level that you needed like a zip tool to email it?
Yeah. Yeah, I had it on my hosting, and like you get a link and you download it.
Amazon,
Yeah, Amazon AWS, you would get a whole folder, everything was in there. It was a shit show. But it just kind of felt that if I have only 1 page, people will not see everything that I can do. And she told me, like, it doesn't matter. You basically have multiple CVs and then you craft them.
Exactly.
Exactly. It was like, no, I had like a one size fit all CV that did actually meant one size doesn't fit anybody. And then she helped me to craft the first version for the one company. That was like some 2.5 years ago when I was still searching for a job in London. I was like, okay, I'm applying for this company, does this, and this, what do I need? And basically we deleted 90% of fat and just to leave the couple of really important information. Then if they want to know more, they're going to call you up and ask you, and then you will do a second interview, send a portfolio, whatever. And that worked like a charm back then.
That's definitely the way you need to do it, because you're only trying to open a door or get the opportunity to come and present yourself, because there's like so many applicants, and you need to also understand that like I can't talk to like for everyone, but like at least me, I'm lazy. I don't want to read 29 or 26 pages. I'll read the first one and then like, this guy. And I just check it really quickly, like do the first scan. But I was just laughing, like smiling by like the next time I'm applying for a job, hopefully I won't need to, but like the next time I will also do like a pie chart, like and do, like see what happens, and also like you could like if you don't care, you could do like have a lot of fun with it. You do the pie chart with like, okay, recruiting like 80%, like in some certain color, and then just do the 20% recruiting but in yellow or something. and just see what happens, you know. Uh,
Yes.
Also because, you know, I hate being too professional. Like I just think, like, you're at your job so much, and for so many, like, so big part of your life you're wasting on being on your job. Like, it has to be fun. You have to have fun. Like, it's not possible in a way. And one of the things, like with my previous company, when I started working there, you have to have this email, you know, what is it called, your signature, right?
Signature, yeah.
Signature, yeah. And you always have these fancy titles and shit, you know. And a colleague of mine suggested, like, yes, just write like head of talent acquisition or something. And I was like, but that's not me. Like, talent acquisition, I'm going with gut feeling here. You know, this guy seems nice. I need to have him word. And he probably knows what he's saying. He says he knows, you know, almost like that way. Like, I'm not like that professional. I didn't want to wear, like, you know, what do you call it? A suit to the,
Suit, yeah.
yeah, stuff like
I
that.
understand.
So what I did on my email signature was actually that I put my name, the company name, and then I just put Bololo. And, you know, and people, like, those who don't understand the reference didn't care. I didn't get any questions. And those who did understand that that's an Age of Empires, you know, a reference with the, you know, the priest that converts people to the other team or your team, they just, you know, they almost like, where do I sign? Where do I sign? This company seems awesome. If you're like the head of recruitment and your title is like Bololo, I want to start there.
Yeah,
So
yeah. When you nail it on the head, and
yeah.
yeah,
And also there
that's
were no negative effects, because those who didn't understand, they were like, okay, I don't know what this is, and just like, they didn't put too much like
yeah, yeah.
weight on it, you know.
My
Emphasis.
first when we had our first company, my business card said I didn't want to, like you said, they didn't want any fancy title. So both my friend and me, we had it just said that internet guy, because
Yeah.
this was our market. People who didn't understand what actually we are doing and why do they need a website. So they just call us those internet guys that build our internet thing. So we just had a business card that says that internet guy and whatever. I need to confess that I kind of went a little bit more boring in the last couple of years. I think so, but I
Oh,
think I'm going to change that a little bit. I'm building a new site at the moment that's going to be live hopefully by the end of this week, and the idea is to kind of remove myself from this you know, persona that's like, oh, I'm a serious designer consultant that helps you solve problems and then brings quality to your work, and your time to market is short. Like who gives a shit? Like because whenever I work with any startups and all of the companies, it was always people that are like around my age. They are doing the business. I like to speak with people really directly, like, what can we do? What can we do? Why are we doing this or that?
yeah,
And it's just like, you know, cut the bullshit, just do the work.
exactly.
And last winter, I had a client that they are building like a startup for freelancers and people who are self-employed. But basically, you have it's called Perks, and it's similar to Perkbox. So basically, if you're self-employed, you subscribe, and then you get all these perks like access to a doctor 24/7. You can get discounts on some stuff like that for like, I
Do you
don't know,
know them?
yeah, like £5 a month. And it's like, it's a really great idea. And we were building their version for Australian market. So we were just revamping the UX and basically doing like a UX audit and helping with the UI for their version 2 of their platform. And I went in for a meeting, and I'm not a formal guy. I own one black suit for I use it
Funerals.
funerals and weddings. Like, it's
Yeah,
the same
exactly.
suit, right? The same suit.
Same.
Yeah, the it's like the occasion is different. The emotions are the same. So it's so I was like contemplating, should I wear the suit or not? And I said like, fuck it. I'm going to wear what I usually wear. And that's my hoodie and my leather jacket and my blue jeans. And like, this is what I usually wear. Exactly. So I'm in my hoodie and my leather jacket. And I have this like ugly biker look, but it's just like, it's my leather jacket that I really love and whatever. And I came into the meeting and the CEO comes over, and she's this amazing woman that looks like Blondie in the like 80s, and it's completely funny. It's like, finally somebody who looks normal. And I was like, okay, cool.
And
This was so good, and we clicked right away. And I really tried not to curse. Use curse words and bad words when I'm doing the podcast, but man, oh man, do I swear when I'm passionate about something. It just goes it just goes out of me. Maybe because I'm from Croatia, and we have this street talk, and it's just hard sometimes to control. And when she had a dirty mouth, I was like, okay, finally I can be just who I am. And we were just clicking. It was like really good. So, and back then I decided I want to work with clients that understand me and get me. And if we are on the same, frequency, then I don't give a shit. Like, let's just do the work and everything's going to be fine. So my next mission is to find clients like that.
Yes, and I have the same philosophy, and I'm not saying that everyone should wear a hoodie and curse a lot. That's not what I'm saying. But if you are that way, it's really hard to like. This is what I mean. Like, if you're genuine, if you are a suit person, you will probably have more success when you wear a suit because you're comfortable in that. I am not, and if I wear a suit, I don't feel like I am myself, and there will go energy and attention to me being uncomfortable instead of focusing on the things that needs to be done. But also the perks, the company perks, since we are, the community for freelancing consultants, we're always looking for perks for them, as I
Okay.
told you in
Yeah,
the
I
beginning.
think,
So
yeah, that's the perfect match.
I think,
I,
yeah, we'll connect
I'm more than
to
happy to introduce you to them. And then,
yeah, and they'll will open up the Stockholm market for them because there's a lot of stuff that we do, but we don't have time to do everything, and you want to maximize. So please let them know that I look for them.
I will
So
send you and them one email, and then you guys take it from there.
perfect.
Uh,
You should name this a business podcast because I heard like in the previous some of the guests you had, they also did something. I don't remember
yeah,
who it was.
everybody does something.
But this is the reason why I want to build the community, because I believe that in the future, uh, like you drown in information, right? It used to be like you have one source of information and that's the information you get. Most people get the same information and that's it. And if you were rich, you were rich, and you would probably become more rich, and that's the way it went. Now the new wealth is probably built by information, and the only way to do that, because it's the one man show is over. Like there's no self-made men anymore or women. It's like you need other people. You can just see it on the Nobel Prizes. It's like, okay, this guy got the Nobel Prize, but it's the team that actually made it. There's no one, it's no more Nikola Tesla and stuff. Like Elon Musk tries to portray himself like that. I don't know if you're a huge Musk fan. I think he's like attention seeking a lot as well, which is probably part of his plan, making a profile of himself and stuff like that. But I don't think like he also has like employees, and he attracts great talent probably, and that's what makes it so successful. And this is the part with the community. Like if you surround yourself with people that are interested in stuff, that want to develop themselves in different ways, could be like mentally, it can be in your work or in some technology or whatever, it doesn't matter. If you have that mindset and you surround yourself with that sort of those kinds of people, you will probably be more successful together than you would be alone. So this is like one of the reasons why I want to build this community and be the information hub for people where they can share and also learn from each other. And this is also the part where I asked you to do a talk for us, because it's really interesting for us in Stockholm to see how is a freelancer doing in the UK. And I wanted to see like this is really interesting. I think we'll see what people say, but I think that's interesting. And also with the globalism, sorry, I see you want to speak. I can tell.
No, please, please. I am in no hurry. Just you please continue. I don't want to speak.
I'm drinking, energy drinks as well. So I can, in the end of the podcast, you have to cut down half because it's just going to be curses and, I'm going to go wild. So
I'm not cutting anything. So if you want to go batshit crazy, please do.
No, but I mean, with the globalism and stuff, as we like, for those, like people do not know how little we know each other. We talked for 1 hour before, right? We had a meeting about like the talk. That's
Yeah.
what we did. And then this is the second time we talk. Uh, but yeah, and this is like with the globalism, it doesn't matter. Like we're two non-native English people. Like we don't speak English as a native language, and we're communicating. Like you're from Hrvatska, Croatia, and I'm from Sweden with two parents from also different countries. My mother is from Finland, and my dad, as I said in the beginning, is Iranian Persian. So like there's no limits anymore. Things are going to happen on the internet, and those who don't follow will be left behind. That's the new, that's the new capitalism. Capitalism will probably have its course. It's going to be placed as was feudalism. Like if you're a nobleman now, like you have some perks, but it's like if you only have the name, I'm not going to care about that. Like show me your skills. Or like if you have wealth, that's the like this is the new paradigm, I think. Like if some rich guy comes to me and says that he's rich, I'm not going to put a lot of emphasis on that. I'm going to be like, okay, what do you know? Who do you know? What can you do? And I think that's the new, the new world order is going to be that. And that's also, I think, one of the reasons that there's so much, commotion going on. Because things can spread much faster. Propaganda is much more available to more people. You have different sources of information. And if you control the information, you control almost like people's, like the world. And that's why there's so much like conflict going on between, like, on that. And that's one of the reasons why I want to start a community, so I can have my platform to share my information. So I want to do good, or actually, I don't even want like good or not good. It's not that. I just want to have like I want to learn stuff. That's actually what I want to. And I learn stuff from, like, to be honest with you, I'm worthless. I don't know anything. I I have no skill sets. The one skill set that I have is that I like people and I like getting to know people. And this is the way that I've come where I come. I have my colleagues, we got along, and they wanted to start this company, and they actually took me along. I wasn't like the founder, I was co-founder with them. So they had the guts to do it. They had the capital. They had like, these are like two of my colleagues, we are four of us. Two of my colleagues, they're like old in the game. They built companies before. So we're not like three guys from college doing anything the first time. Like one of the guys was my former boss, and he built like two companies before successfully and sold them. So I mean, like these are veterans in the game. And this is how I learn. I learn from other people. That's been the story of my life. Like tech, I'm not a technical person, but I can speak about technical stuff because I've learned how it works on at least like a conceptual level, how it works. So I understand, like, okay, I don't know what code you write exactly and how a language differs from another. Like I can't say like that's Python and that's Java or whatever. So I can't tell you that, but I can understand why they differ and what happens when they differ. So and this is all I learned from my network. So for me to survive with the skill set I have, which is nothing, I need a good network,
I
so that's
love
what I'm.
that. Skill set when it's nothing. I don't think it's nothing. I think it's very valuable what you do, especially when you are the person who can speak to different types of people, which I think you can, because you need to use different language and different approach when speaking to developers. It's completely different when you're speaking to designers or business people or people in sales. They are all working within the same industry and maybe even on the same product, same platform, but they are looking at the same problem from a different angle. And if you can be that scaffolding around those people who brings them together and makes them communicate their idea and whatever they're doing in the same way, then I think you are the one that's going to make them win. So I wouldn't say your skill is nothing.
It's next to nothing, but
don't sell yourself short. I will not allow you that. I will not allow you to sell yourself short because you're not. And I wanted to comment on what you said about people not valuing money as much. I think I agree with that because I had an opportunity to meet people from all walks of life, and some of them were millionaires that I had no idea they were millionaires when I met them. So it didn't change my attitude towards them. And when I learned, it didn't change anything. I don't give a shit because I think we are all doing the same thing. If we are doing the same thing, and that is being better towards people around us and being better, making ourselves better every day. And it doesn't matter if you have a lot of money or you have the, I don't know, average amount of money or lower amount of money. Even if you have no money, if you're a good person trying to be better, I'm not worried about you because I know that you will be good. And like you said, even if you're shit loaded, nobody gives a shit anymore. I just want to know, who are you as a person? Are you doing well? And how can we help each other? And
Yeah.
this is the main thing. And I think going forward, building your community and what we are doing with Indie Club, I think it's bringing together people who are on a similar path, doing similar
Yeah.
thing, and just want to be better. So whenever there's an opportunity for me to speak to a community like yours, I'm more than happy to do that anytime, any time of day. A friend of mine asked me when I told him about it. I told him, I met this guy from Sweden. He's amazing. Blah blah blah. They want me to do a talk for them. They want to do it to talk about careers and whatever. And he asked me, how much am I charging for that talk? And I was like, nothing. I'm not charging. And he's still like, why? Like, why are you not making money? He gave me the quote from Batman, I think. It was like, if you're good at something, you should never do it for free. And I said, that's true, but I'm good at a lot of things. And some of things I do for free. A lot of things I don't do for free. But this is something that I'm really passionate about. And if I can make one person's life better, that means that I'm making this world better place. So this is something that I will never put a price on.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're making money off of this, if you're charging an insane amount of money for the ticket to see whatever I have to say, then I'm going to charge you money. But if it's for the betterment of community, then it's just, it is what it is.
And doesn't that boil down to what we also talked about, like the transparency and stuff? Would I do that if I would do that? Like start charging money and I wouldn't tell you, and you got to know uh, later or something? Like, would we cooperate anymore? Like, I burned my bridges with you.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So that's what I mean. Like, and that's why I try to be like not a bullshitter and stuff. And I really appreciate you coming doing a talk. And as I think, I have no idea if this content is worth anything to anyone, but if it is, like, that was good, because then you helped us or will help us and have the talk, and I got an opportunity as well to come to your podcast, and who knows, maybe someone reaches out, like there's a lot of Swedish people in London, maybe they're coming home because of Brexit and they can join our community, or they're in your community even, and they can be in both communities, and if there is an assignment in Sweden, they might have a good chance to get it, because they maybe speak the language, or I don't know, you never know what happens, in the future. So I think it's awesome. And this is also like part of the, the community part, not particularly like cFinder community or maybe even Indie Club community, but the concept of community and networking, that we can sit, like, you're not even in Sweden, I'm not in the UK, we haven't really met physically, but I consider, like, I would say, like, I'm very comfortable if I needed to, like, call you. If I'm in London, I would definitely, like, call you, and like, that would be no problem at all, of course. But and this just happened because one of my friends that happens to live in London came to one of your talks on a platform. I don't remember which one it was. TopTal, maybe. I don't know if you want to
Yeah, it was
quote them anymore, but
no, it's fine. It was a TopTal event about
yeah,
freelancing where I was talking.
yeah,
And I agree. I think the community is the strongest. I don't know how to strongest thing that we have today in our business is to build a community of high quality people.
yeah,
And this is exactly why I do this. I promised myself a long time ago when I started my first Facebook group 5, 6, 7 years ago that it was web designers in Croatia that has thousands of people now. We will never charge for content. It's something that I got for free from a lot of people who were sharing their knowledge, and whatever I do, it's there for free. If I'm actually working with you to help you start a business one-on-one and I'm teaching you or coaching you, then of course I will charge for my time. But whatever I do for the community, it's always going to be free. And this is why I don't like those, internet gurus that charge, I don't know, subscriptions for whatever. I'm not saying that's a bad thing or you shouldn't pay for it. Maybe you will find value of something. I even pay subscription for a couple of people that I think are bringing value to their small, close communities. But I'm not that type of person, so I will not do that. So this is how it works, because I did, when I wrote my talk that your friend heard back in I think it was 2014 or 15, and it's something that I've been evolving for the past 5 years. I didn't know that I'm gonna meet Sebastian from Sweden in 5 years. It just I did this so I can help people, and then I started doing it, and it opens one door and another and another and another, and I couldn't
Exactly.
hope that one guy will be at my talk that will tell this guy in a whole other country that he should call me, and it's like a whole. It's basically when you take a step back, it's a closed circle. If you take a long view from above, you can see that we are all basically connected within this larger community of IT, and this is why I love doing what we do. And
Yeah, yeah, and but also like in a business aspect, if I may, if we talk about like you need to eat, so like you need money for something, right? So I'm just saying like for you and even me, like me being on the like being a guest on your podcast and you having this podcast, that's a platform also for spreading information, as we talked about. Like if you can influence 100 people listening to this, that's also some sort of power that you can capitalize on sometime if you want to. So just you don't need to do it, but you can do it. So I mean that is also like an aspect of why not, you don't need to do, like if content is good and people listen to you, you can use it in other ways to promote stuff. For instance, your community, I don't know how the business model works, but you know it's probably not bad if there's a lot of people there because data is good. So
so yeah, the business model is not business model is not actually a secret. It's free community. You come in, you join, you meet people, you maybe find somebody you can partner up with, maybe you find a client, maybe you whatever. If we can support you, great. If not, fuck it. And it's like I give what I can. I don't expect anything in return. If I get something in return when I need help, that's great. If not, I always have people that I can turn to. So when I like in a position that I don't know something, I will post a question to my community saying, "Oh, I'm doing this. What do you guys think? Can I get some feedback?" One thing that is for some reason true for our community, I don't know why, it happens when I get a report from Slack, and there's like 10% of messages go to public channels, and then 90% of messages go in between people. So I know there's a lot of interaction that happens in one-on-ones. And people are really great with feedback and with our listeners. There are a couple of people that comment on every episode. They send emails, they reply. It's not a lot of people. It's like I think 12 people at the moment because we just started, but it's fine. I have 12 people that actually listen to the entire
yeah,
episodes and then send me what they think and what they liked, what they didn't like. They give me input, and it's getting better. And I'm doing this primarily for myself because I enjoy doing this. I enjoy meeting people like you. I enjoy sharing experience and knowledge. And if it helps somebody, great. Whoever hears whatever we're talking about and thinks, "Oh my God, this helped me so much. I was in the same place," or "This is the advice that I needed." Amazing, great. Let me know. It will just make my day better, and that's it.
yes. And also like when it comes to, I think you said that in your community you have people that want to start their become freelancers, right?
Yes.
So what I said, like with my previous company, the setup was a little bit different than maybe like traditional consultant companies, and my job was like, I would say 70 to 80% just coaching people how to become a freelancing consultant. So I have a lot of experience with that, and I have like, if you want to, I can translate them to English, but I have like templates of things that people should do. It's sort of almost like when you fly a plane, right? The pilots, I'm not a pilot, so I'm not sure how they do it, but they have like a checklist, right? That they go through, like, have you pushed it, this button, dup, 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 and they do all these things.
Yeah, pre-flight
Each,
checklist. Yeah.
yeah, like each time they fly, they do this. And I compare that to starting as a freelancer. I try to help my friend. He was a stubborn guy. Same guy that came to your talk. We're really good friends. You should meet him. I'll exchange your contacts with each other. You should meet. He's a really cool guy. So he wanted to start his contracting as well, and I tried to help him because I have a lot of experience helping people start their own company, becoming freelancers. But so okay, so I have this like sort of templates of what you should think about, what you need to do to become a successful freelancer. What do you need to do before? And I used to, before you start your own company. And I used to say that, you know, you can't predict the future. You can't predict like so COVID or these black swans that come, or like it doesn't need to be a black swan in the economy. It can be just a string of bad luck for you particularly. But what you can do is play with the parameters, is that a word? Like yeah, that that you have, and like turn the things in your favor. Like everything that you can do everything to prepare to, so that the parameters are in your favor when you start your company, and then you're ready to fly. So if that would be helpful for your community, I would be more than willing to share my
Actually,
four
yes.
years of 4 years of experience. I think I helped like maybe 300 consultants to become or sorry, people to become freelancing consultants.
That would be extremely helpful, actually. And
Mm.
I was speaking to David recently. We are planning on actually
Who's
starting.
David?
David is a co-founder of Intellect.
All right. Okay. All
Sorry.
right.
And we were talking about actually starting a blog section of community as well, because we have podcasts at the moment and a community. And we want to put some of these stuff in writing. And we will be turning to people within the community itself to just write whatever they think might be useful for people who are starting out or who are finding themselves within certain problems. And what you're describing is something I think that would be extremely helpful. And if you want to do that, I would be more than happy to put that on our site. And we are in the process of sourcing content for the first 10 or so articles. So that would be really great. And yeah, I would love to see that, to read that, to put it in practice. I'm actually more than happy to do a test run. I can say, okay, I'm gonna take your framework and I'm gonna test it out for a week or a month or whatever, just to see if it works. Like, how many boxes do I check with my experience? Like, I've been doing this for a year. Maybe I've missed something. Maybe there's always something that I don't know. And I'm more than happy to learn what I don't know, and then give you the feedback. Oh, this helped me a lot. This didn't work for me, and just maybe we can do like a short little test run within our community to see how did it work, and maybe we can do a case study or something. That
Yeah,
would be really good.
definitely. That's fun. Yeah.
Yes, if we've been at this for over an hour, and I
Wow.
want to be courteous to your time and whoever's listening. I always appreciate people who listen the whole episode beginning to the end. I want to say thank you for coming. Thank you for being the part
Thank
of
you.
this. It was amazing. I hope that it was fun for you as it much was for me. I hope everybody who listened that it gained some value out of this. I'm gonna put your links to your community and your social channels into episode description. And if there's anything I've missed, please speak now. If there's anything you want to say, if not, write it down for the episode 2, because we're gonna be speaking again
That's
for
fun.
sure.
Let's do a fun, like cFinder is I think it's a good name. I think like people think that they've heard of us because it sounds maybe like similar to other things, or they actually have heard of us. I have no idea, but it's not phonetically awesome, because you just see like see as in the ocean, or see as in I see something, or what do you mean? So it stands for like competence finder or client finder or consultant finder. So it's just the C, the letter C, and then finder. And let's do a try. Like you said, it's 12 people listening. Well, let's see. Like anyone from like the community in the club, you get like free subscription, and like just subscribe to our or sorry, register in our community, and just write me in the chat. You see my name, and you can all like chat with me. So and let me know that you're from this, like you heard in this episode. It's fun, like to see, just like get some data, like how many will do it. It's a two-step thing. So we actually approve everyone, because we have want to have control. So you know, you register, and then you get an email, an invite to actually you did it yourself, Tom. So let's try, see what happens. I it will be fun to see. Like, yeah, I heard the episode. I want to try this. Let's just see what
I'm
happens.
gonna email everybody who will listen. Who are like, when I,
Cheating. Like,
no, when I publish the episode, I want to be like, listen to the end. There's a gold mine at the end, and I'll just see what happens.
Yeah,
But
see what
I think
happens.
whoever is a consultant and wants to learn more about marketing in Sweden in particular, I'm sure they can learn a lot. I have a friend who's in Stockholm that I already recommended
All right.
and told him. He said he's going to apply. He sooner at some point. So, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's see where this goes. I will love to have you again. Maybe we can do, I don't know, end of the year and see what changed during the summer and see what we learned. And then maybe we can do a recap and see where this gets us.
Yes, definitely. It has been a lot of fun. I think I really enjoy talking to you, and I would actually love to do it, on a private, as a friend or acquaintance as well. I get a
Absolutely.
lot of it. Yeah.
We're going to do this again. Thank you for being here. Thanks everybody for listening, and see you soon.